My whole opening point is that they don't play any defense, right? And their offense is exactly the same as Dallas's. They don't swing the ball. That's a cup matchup. Who is going to guard anybody in the Suns, right? And the Suns scheme around playing one-on-one ball.
Hey bro, are you working out?
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 19 of the NBA Show.
Are you putting a James Harden?
I'm not yet. Our last episode, we were at Kirk's
You're
house.
looking a bit chunky.
I'm trying to showcase something. I got a little beer mug because the last game we played, the last video we made was at Kirk's house where the Hawks played Miami and the Hawks got a puck even though I became an instant star. What am I saying?
Wait bro, syp nog.
Yeah, fuck's sake.
You became an instant fan.
This tells me I should have prepared so well.
I'm trying to think about what you're saying now.
So, in honor of getting a puck,
Whoa! Make like a walk. Make like a walk.
that's my best walk. Like, don't sound like a walk.
Make like a walk in the walk.
Because they played.
Are they still in the playoffs?
They're not. But I became a fan of this bro. So I decided to buy a jersey. Gentlemen, how are you?
I mean, look, you had a cup playoff.
He did. Which is weird because I really expected more from him. Thinking of what he did last year, I thought he had the big match temperament. But he met a Miami team that seems defiant and dangerous.
2 words.
Yeah. That's the best way I can describe it. This Miami team look wild. And they play tonight against the Philadelphia 76ers. And I got a dad joke for you.
A dad joke.
We're changing their name to the 38s. Because they're half the team without them being. It's my dad joke of the night. Yeah. All our fans, our 5 subscribers. I know you views of the show.
The views of the show.
Alright, just a little recap. So the Heat beat the Hawks 4-1. 76ers beat Toronto 4-2. Did we call those? Both series we did call, right?
Yes.
We did.
I'll get it for you.
And then of course, Phoenix played Mavericks later tonight, also leading 2-0 over there. CP3 has become a monster, and I think New Orleans woke him up in that game 6 where he went 14 for 14. Can you believe Chris Paul going 14 for 14?
The real closer. Which we also called.
Yes!
Which you called.
Yes,
We
you
could
call it.
all accept this. All.
Yeah.
I'm distancing myself because I don't believe it's the real deal yet.
Yeah. And then Dallas beat Utah 4-2. Tough series. Most of it without Luka. But we'll get to that a little bit later. Yeah.
Somebody will have a lot to say about that.
Maybe.
Maybe not.
But to start the show, so there are 4 series that we are following for obvious reasons. And I thought to start with, which is for me the most exciting series of all, which is the Golden State Warriors versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Golden State pulled off a massive upset in game 1. Ja Morant came back and proved why they are there in game 2. Kirk, what do you see, pal? How exciting is this, and where are we going to with the series?
So, I guess Golden State did what they set out to do in the first 2 games, which is take 1 from Memphis, right?
Yeah.
It was expected that Memphis would come back and try and answer. They did. It was a close game, but Golden State are doing what Golden State do. How many times did Memphis have to claw back from like to get back into the game. They were down 20, they clawed back. They were down 20 again, they clawed back. And it's really Golden State doing dumb shit.
Yeah.
At times they'll be like, "Oh, we're comfortable now. Let's go to sleep." And Steph will throw 3 bad passes in a row, and Morant will get out and dunk, and there's hype, there's momentum, and they'll close the gap again. And we said this at the start of the series. If Steph stays locked in and he doesn't have those moments, the series is done. But if he keeps having those moments and Ja exploits it, it's going to be a long series. I still think that Golden State are still in the driving seat. The next 2 games are going to be crucial, depending on how Memphis performs on the road. We'll see what happens. The loss of GP2 was a big loss. He was filling that. I mean, he worked himself into the starting lineup. He was pivotal in playing defense on. Trying to play defense on Morant. Because Morant had 2 monster games, game 1 and game 2. I mean, game 2. Did you see him talk shit to Steph?
After the game?
No, dude, like there were a few seconds left.
Yeah.
And I think Steph had just missed a shot.
Yeah.
And he was running back. And Ja was like, "Good time's up, son."
Did you see the play? Did you see the play where he did the backspin and he went to the right hand side? In game 1, Steph blocked it. In game 2, he did the move, scored, and said, "I remember." Did you see that? I remember.
Yeah. But I dropped Poole, man. When that fake spin.
Play that clip in this part.
But yeah, that Timmy said that he doesn't like the basketball being played in that series. But just watching Morant, and again, we said it at the beginning of the season, his range of scoring is it's something we haven't seen in the league in a long time. And he's finding his stroke from range now, which he hasn't had through much of the season. But he's starting to make an outside shot now. And once he can make that shot consistently, it's going to be a strange thing. The one Achilles of Memphis is JJJ and that idiot's foul trouble. if he can stay on the floor, they'll be a lot better. And I guess Steven Adams coming back now kind of
it changes the game almost.
It will kind of plaster over that track. But we'll see. It's weird because Bain is suspended for the game, and Adams is coming back. So we'll see how it plays out. It's a very interesting series at the moment. It's finely balanced at the moment.
Bain suspended. Brooks.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Brooks suspended. Yeah. 1 game suspension
for the foul.
Yeah.
I feel like they had to do that.
Yeah.
But I get hurt. You can't just.
But it's if he didn't get hurt, would he have been suspended? Probably.
No, he wouldn't. I don't think so. You gotta. The brother's now injured, can't play.
Yeah.
So I gotta punish you somehow.
Yeah.
You know? 1 game off. No way. To me, Jordan Poole has become the talk of social media.
There's a pool party here.
Besides Jordan Poole, just give me your overall thoughts on just young players to date. JJJ, boom, the lights out. Jordan Poole, I got the stats here, 31, 9 and 8 in his first conference semi-final. Give me your thoughts on young players doing things that young players never used to do. Why?
So first of all, I don't think it's that young players never used to do it, right? I think that young players didn't do it consistently, and to be fair, these same young players still can't do it consistently, and I think that's just human nature. Like, because you read out Poole's game 1 stats, read out these game 2 stats, and it starts looking very similar to Steph, right? So I think he scores 20 odd points, right? But he shoots 1 of 6 from 3, and he has 3 turnovers. And he's turning the board over, and if Steph's turning the board over, then they're in trouble. They both can't play like that. And because Brooks was out, right? He had to play. Sorry, not because Brooks was out. Because Peyton was out. right? He had to play a lot of D on Ja. And how much points did Ja score?
Seasons. Career high.
47, 45,
Yeah, something like
49, even 49.
40,
I think it was 48.
whatever it is, it's
Yeah.
40 a lot.
Yeah. With Poole guarding him.
We're pool guarding him a lot of the time, right? And I think that I completely agree with you. Peyton being out is more important than everybody realizes, right? Because they are hoping that Iggy comes back with a sore back, not 40-year-old legs, and now needs to take care of Ja. And I think that's going to be a real issue. The only benefit that the Warriors have is that the whole Memphis team is young. And the guys who are going to be inconsistent. Like Bain has been bad.
Yeah.
Right? In comparison to Bain in the season.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
But if he also catches.
In the first round.
True. Right? But if he catches fire also, right? Then they're in real trouble.
Yeah.
And the Grizz play a style of basketball that allows them to be a little bit bad and still keep in touch. Because they play bully ball. They're going to hit you, you can run to the key. When the Warriors go to bed at night, they feel it. They feel
Yes.
that elbow here. And Green still got those cuts in his face. And that ball keeps it close. Even when you're playing badly. Right? But the pretty ball, if you're missing your threes, they can get in trouble really quickly. So even though you're right, it's weird. Because Golden State won one game, right? So effectively they did exactly what they needed to do.
Correct.
Right? And usually I feel very good about that team, right? But at this point, I just don't know. With Peyton going out, with them being on the receiving end of being bullied,
Because you know that the tendency of theirs to.
because they also play like a young team. Actually, as experienced as they are, they play like a young team because they turn the ball over. They know their margin of error is high, right? I think it's gonna be. It's funny. I think the series is awesome. The style of basketball, right, is not my favorite at the moment, right?
Why?
Because Golden State aren't allowed to be the Golden State selves. Because each time they try, Memphis gives them 2 words: the push club. Yeah, that's it. In fact, actually, all of these series are like that. At this stage, and so it's a complete contrast in styles.
Yes, that's the.
Do you know what would be really pretty? Warriors Suns. That would be pretty. Yeah, but it's not.
Beautiful basketball.
Both sides.
Yeah.
And that's why Warriors have the edge over the Suns, because they play clean. They've won the season series against the Suns because they're allowed to play their style of basketball against the Suns.
Good point.
Okay.
Just in terms of your question about young players and the feeling that they are doing more, I think it comes down to exposure. So we see more of the young players. Because back in the day, we only saw a handful of games that ESPN gave to DSTV. Now with League Pass, you can watch anybody, all the games. And also social media. And social media, the hype is real. It's so weird to me how the NBA still identifies certain areas as small markets and big markets, because to me it doesn't seem like. I guess bums in seats determines your market. But I mean, all the arenas are pretty big.
I mean, these guys, they have an arena outside the arena.
So
does Toronto.
So it's weird to me that they still identify them as big and small markets, because everybody can watch everybody anytime.
True. And I guess they can follow it.
But you know what's interesting? The other day, they mentioned a nationally broadcast game. So they still assign weight to broadcast TV.
Yes.
They still add value to that. So they were saying it's a nationally broadcast game, but there's a big hype around it. And it's like people are streaming it all over the world. Who the fuck was broadcast nationally? But although,
because you can't race your good players on a national broadcast.
No ways.
Because in the States they've got the blackout zones where not everybody gets to see everything on the part because of the way they black out certain.
So if Stormers play, can we stay into that? You can't.
You can't watch.
You can't watch it here in your area. Go to the stadium.
On purpose.
Yeah, and that's why. And same with the EPL. That's why the EPL didn't broadcast EPL games in the UK for so long. They do like one game a weekend because you want people to go to the games.
Wow.
We got more on DSTV, we got more EPL than they did in the UK.
On TV.
On TV, yeah.
Wow.
But I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess there's
For
like
the stadium.
there's
exactly.
like a I was there moment.
Yes. It's a culture thing. It's like
And you
we
connect
go
with the
watch the game,
players.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Cheers. Final question is who's winning the series? If you made a decision now, who's winning the series?
Golden State.
How much?
7.
7. Timmy?
fuck it. Grizz. 7.
We'll take one of that 6 packs of his. I'll take my 6 pack back. My Boston 6 pack.
Nah, let's have it for the next. Let's have it for the next one.
Yeah.
What a segue.
Yeah.
What are we gonna speak about next?
Oh.
We're getting to an ad.
Dennis is good. Dennis is great.
We
Man,
love
fuck
you.
what I
Yeah,
can
we
do.
Okay. We are back from the ad, and the boys are thirsty. We are not sponsored by Castle, even though we drink Castle all the time. Shout out to one of our subscribers if you work for Castle. This is a plug. Yeah.
And please don't use plastic
Thank you,
size
thank you,
circles to open the plastic.
Yeah. Can we talk about this here? What would you recommend they do?
Cardboard.
Cardboard is easier. Okay. Tell me, Giannis, the Greek freak, feels like he is just running over the Celtics in game 1. Game 2 happens, and it feels like he is on his own. It looked like he needed Middleton in game 2. I don't know how to call this series because it looks like it could go either way. Give me your thoughts, Val. What do you see? What must people know that haven't watched a single game of the series?
So we're going to talk about Dallas.
We're leaving the important stuff for last.
That's right.
Sorry.
So I think the first thing that people have got to understand is that Boston, even years ago, made it to the conference finals when they were young. Same team, same core.
True.
Right?
True.
Each year they've lost, and effectively the narrative and the theme has been they've lost because they're either weak-minded or they don't have a strong will to come back when they're knocked out.
They don't have a star.
Yes.
Oh,
That was one of
okay.
That is one of the things.
One of the things definitely
Yes.
there.
Point,
And I think what's important for everybody to understand, right, is that one, they got punched in the face in game 1, right? And if it was the same Boston team of years past, right, with the score, right, everybody would have expected them to sit down, stay down, and that would have been the end, right? What I think is cool is the fact that they didn't. In fact, they did exactly the opposite that they've done from all other seasons. They fronted up, they got physical, right? And they do have now a proper alpha, right? I suppose my philosophy is not that you necessarily need one, but in this instance, when Tatum has turned into the alpha and Jalen was definitely right 0.2.
Robin.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like it's working for
It
him.
just started clicking.
Yeah, and they know.
And Marcus has his role.
Yeah, and they know, and he's playing well, and he understands his role, and he's staying in that lane, and he's doing well. But I think that's all fantastic. Look, the reality is, if Middleton were there, right, I think that they would be in trouble. I think he creates space.
So game 3 he comes back.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think that's going to be super interesting. Again, the Bucks did just like the Warriors did what they needed to in the series. Right? They went there, they won one game, home court advantage is theirs. Right? You'd think that some of the other players, right, some of the other role players are going to start to do a little bit better. Giroud had a bad second game. Yeah. Right? But he's not an offense first play in any event, right? And so if you don't need him to be that great, and Middleton's hitting a couple of shots, and you're playing in front of your home stage, right? Your home crowd, all of a sudden Porter starts making a couple more shots, Connaughton starts making a couple more shots. If maybe put it this way, and proving your point. If Connaughton's your second best player, which arguably was in game 2,
Yeah.
you probably aren't doing much
Yeah.
in the playoffs, right? But what are the likelihood with Middleton back, with Portis in front of the home crowd, with Giroud I suppose coming off a bad game, it's unlikely that that's going to happen again. And I think it's going to be a little bit more competitive. Yeah. I think anybody who says they know what's going to happen in the series is lying to themselves. Right? This is actually the most interesting series for me. It's the most fun series for me. I love the fact that Ime made some changes, that the team responded to it. I've got no faith that Coach Bud is going to make changes, right? Which I think again is interesting. This is the beauty of watching NBA playoffs.
Yeah. Give me your thoughts, Bill.
I think Bud has a bad rep. And I don't understand why he's just won the title.
Yeah, and he's on a bad rep.
He's the defending champ.
Yeah.
And interestingly, that was his 5th title. Because he won 4 with Spurs.
Wow.
So wait,
As the assistant coach.
Yeah. You mean Pop won 4, right?
Yeah.
And then Browser.
Well, it means something though.
Pop coattail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It means something though. It means something.
But like a delivered the go for
Yeah, he's won one.
title.
Yeah. LeBron coattail.
Exactly. He's still got a title.
Who's
He
the-
walks around like this.
Who's
But arms is heavy. Knees weak.
Look, can I make a point of that?
Go.
Right? I enjoy the Bucks, right? I wanted the Bucks to win last year. I think it was conference semi-finals, right? Around about the same time, right? The Mavs and Carlisle parted ways,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And during that series, I was hoping that the Bucks would argue Carlisle and fire Bud in the moment. During the series.
Yeah.
It looked like it was going to happen to him.
Yeah.
Things click. I'm sure
Despite him.
No, look, I'm sure Bud had stuff to do with it, right? He motivates the players, they enjoy him, etc. I'm just not sure he's the X's and O's guys because it doesn't look like they adjust.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they adjust. Certainly not as much as a Spo, Ime, right? Jaeger.
Does it not mean that he doesn't need to adjust much? It just means play better. I'm serious. If you have arguably the best player, right? In this game, my best player and his supporting cast didn't do as well as they did the last time. So next time, do better.
So, put your players in the best position for them to do well.
Okay.
Right? And if that means that I put the player on the left block each time and we milk it until we win, that's great. And in game 2, if the other team pushes him off the left block, then I need to figure out a different way, right, of getting him.
And is your argument that he
onto the left
doesn't?
block. No.
Never?
No, it looks like they do the same thing over and over. So and maybe even if you look historically, right? So ever since he's been with the Bucks, right, he has played all their starters less than 30 minutes ago. And then when they got to the playoffs, he did the same fucking thing, and he played a long bench when actually, who gives a fuck how the guy number 8 and 9 feel, right? Cut them the fuck out, right? Play Giannis 40 minutes.
Pause.
You know what will make them feel great? That pause came at just the right time.
Yo, didn't
Pause.
You said he struggles to adapt and he plays the same way over and over and over. We just transitioned from he won 4 with Pop. How much did Pop make changes? Or was he known for, in that run, doing the same thing over and over and over? I just want to find, are there similarities?
No, there's no similarities.
So Pop, you wouldn't even say in that.
There will be no Pop slander.
None whatsoever.
I'm digging.
Discussion.
I'm digging. Kirk, would you honestly say, is that not a thing Pop would have done in the big 3 time?
Pop
Well,
made
tell me-
adjustments. Pop made adjustments.
Adjusted. And he, to date, he still adjusts.
Yeah.
He will adjust his entire offense to who he has in his team.
Yeah.
I'm talking about when he had Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. Did he not go back to what they do?
You could ask us the same question in 7 different ways. We will give you the same answer.
Okay. I'd
I don't-
love to go into that.
I don't see a lot of
Similarities in there.
Spurs influence in the way Milwaukee plays.
No.
Yeah.
Bigs, yeah?
Why taking so long?
Foods, yeah.
Hey? Yeah, there's a long waiting queue. I just checked now. Didn't get it yet. The views expressed.
Yes.
Um,
So just in game 2, what is interesting was the amount of one-on-one that the Bucks were playing. It was so frustrating. That first
Yes.
2 quarters.
Yes.
Giroud would bring the ball down, dribble, drive, post up, force a shot. It was so frustrating, and I felt the wrong people were taking,
shots at the
trying
right
to take control of the game. Whereas in game 1, there was energy, there was movement, there was ball reverse, there was ball reversal, there was getting Giannis in motion, getting into attack.
Yeah.
A lot of it was just a lot of flat-footedness, find the ball, find the pass. It's almost like they were okay with not winning the second game. It's like, okay, we've done our job. They're gonna come out and hit us hard. We prepare for game 3. It felt like that was sort of the adjustment that Bud was bringing.
Yeah. Okay.
But
We'll fool them by standing still.
Yeah, that's the adjustment.
But on the flip side, Brown and Tatum
Yeah.
came
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
fist clapped everybody.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
it. PK.
See, now I was going to transition to that because what we're not saying
yes.
is we're not giving the Celtics any credit
Yes.
here.
But they.
Because what if? Anyway.
So
I swear my opening 3 minutes was all about the Celtics. And you have a hot take that this is
Yeah.
Okay, tell us how you feel about
Wait.
the Celtics.
So actually, at this juncture, I'd like to say that at the very start of our podcasting journey,
Yeah.
Wesley said he feels that Jason Tatum is going to have an outstanding year this year because of all the hardship he's gone through.
Did you say that?
I did.
I don't give a
okay.
And I'm still
I
trying to
thought you
figure out.
called it.
No, you called it.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out where that hardship came from because we were like, oh, what the fuck are you talking
The
about?
hardship comes from exactly what Timmy said. Constantly losing in the playoffs.
It's like
That hurts. That
it's like
hurts.
his third year in the league.
Yeah.
Now it's on his third year, man.
Look here.
How many years has he been in the league? 7, 8 years?
No!
Cat has had hardship. Book has had hardship. Tatum has always been in the playoffs.
Tatum, he's only in the league 3 years now. Maximum 4 years.
Bro, come on.
Maximum 4 years.
Yeah, actually, you're right. You're right, because he was with
that-
the play.
Might be 5. That's fine.
Got it.
It's not 7.
Yeah. No, nobody cares.
Yeah.
That was just scared. Yeah.
So I think the thing that blew my mind the most was Brown scored 12 points in the entire game 1. He scored 14 points in the first quarter.
That's
Game
right,
2.
yeah.
It's like just
I also think that that's coaches making adjustments.
Yes.
And listen, we know we need this guy.
Yes.
Right. To play well, and then they get him involved early.
yeah.
Okay. More on the pop theory after these. Alright, fellas. The Big Squid series is the Heat versus 76ers. Without Embiid, it's not a playoff series, right?
Yeah. Also,
Timmy?
nothing to talk about. Nothing to see here. Right?
Yeah.
Actually, there is something to see here.
The 38s.
No.
Yeah. Okay. What is there to see?
There is a development happening in Miami that could make them contenders. The fact that Victor Oladipo
is back.
turning into a player at this point in time. I mean, it's funny when
Serious.
when we mentioned that they had picked him up, Timmy laughed at us and he was like, "Who the fuck's Victor Oladipo?"
Yeah.
And he still feels that way clearly. But
Go. Oh, sorry, not that. My bad.
did you hear me full stop?
Did you hear me?
Be efficient.
The way that he is coming back is crazy. It's quiet.
Yeah, man.
It's such a nice story, man. It's such a quiet story.
To go. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
If you know his story, it's great that he's playing so well on that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that he's found a way to contribute even despite all his
With limited touches.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about limited touches.
No.
He's got free reign when he comes on. That's not my point I want to make.
Okay.
I like Victor. I do. I would just like to call out double standard that my man over here has.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to do that.
Okay, yes,
I'd like to do that.
Sauce! Sauce! Okay.
Because you're like, wow, you know to make Miami Heat champions, right?
It's Victor Oladipo.
Oladipo, yeah. You trust that, bruh, but you don't trust, right? Our point guard of the Suns, right? I don't understand because you're like, well, at some stage, he's gonna fall apart, right? I don't trust him, right? He's gonna get injured.
He's still to be proven wrong though.
Yeah. But how? How do you think you're excited about Victor Oladipo?
Because Victor Oladipo is not the starting point guard that is the floor general that everybody pins their hopes on.
You're right. Actually.
Everybody pins their hopes on CP3, and the minute he crumbles like he did in last year's finals, nobody else knew what the fuck to do, and they all sit around like, oh, I don't know how to play basketball anymore. Because this brother, we all think, oh, he's gonna carry us to the promised land. He fucking fell over.
So two things to that.
Oladipo's not gonna.
Two things to that. You mean the Heat's other point guard who also hasn't played, right? Lowry. Right? So
Nobody's talking about Lowry. We don't talk about Lowry.
No. Yeah, showing our real dads. That's the one thing. The second thing is the Suns this year is different from the Suns last year, right? Because Book is by far the best player.
Oh wait.
Everything's around. So you're right? CP3 closes, but actually everything revolves around Book. That guy is insane. Defense, scoring, creating. He is. I mean,
we're not talking about Phoenix Suns.
We're not.
Yes.
You're right.
I know you want to.
We're talking
I
about
know
your
you're emotional.
inconsistency.
I know you're very emotional about this team that's gonna fuck Dallas up in the next 2 games. But that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll
Let's
get
keep it going. Let's keep it going.
Deep down, Timmy really wants you to be right that CP3 crumbles. So he's like, deep down, if CP3 could just crumble, I got one more star coming.
I'll never be more happy for you being right.
But to wrap up the Heat 76ers, Timmy, I agree. There's nothing really to talk about besides let's see what Harden can do. You know what I mean? Like, is he going to be worth any type of money? Do you see any changes besides maybe 4-1 or 4-0?
So Embiid wore that mask thing a few years ago. So if he comes back, fraction fucking for free.
And like a broken finger.
Yes.
That will be one of the stories of the NBA.
All time.
Ibaka
Come back, game
and
4.
they win the series.
Yo.
It's a quiet thought.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too much.
The documentary mind in you.
But I'll put a beer and he doesn't. Yeah, no? Nobody? Any takers?
No.
Okay, then let's keep it moving.
Final result 4-0, 4-1, 4-2.
4-1.
4-1.
4-1.
I say 4-0. I say they sweep it.
This is a all in all out kind of guy.
Yeah, and now for the moment Tim has been waiting
Look how
for.
quickly you all outed on the Lakers.
Timmy's on the train now. Timmy's on the train.
Bruh, he went so far on LeBron, he's about bought 5. It's getting hot in here.
Yeah.
Mensa, shit's getting real. And let me
I
just plug.
was like, did this plug just plug the sun stop?
Let me just plug tomorrow night.
Sky.
Tomorrow night, WNBA kicks off with their preseason games. Don't sleep on them this year. Last year's WNBA was the shit.
Kirk is a big WNBA fan. I don't watch enough, but I know that the WNBA is getting a lot of money invested to make more money for women's basketball. And when more money is pumped into anything, it improves a lot. So, away, just.
Unless you get pumped into PSA.
Okay.
The views, bro.
Expressed. But this cowboy will tell us about his team getting a buck. Timmy, the floor is yours. Luka is averaging 40 points a game and his team can't catch a W. Why, pal?
Nothing to see here. Don't look there.
Yeah. You should open this with the same statement. Yeah, it's nothing to talk about. Yeah. CP3 code crumble. Talk to us. How to do, boy?
First of all, I'd like to start off with going, as a tortured Mavs fan
For many years.
for many years, I am happy at the first time.
You did say that though. You did
I
say
said
that.
that from
That's
the
the
beginning.
whole problem with the series. Right there.
Okay.
Right there.
So-
that is the
Okay,
whole
let the man
problem.
speak. Let the man speak. Let the man speak.
The second thing is, they are playing against an historically good
Yeah.
Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
It didn't matter who came out of the side. It didn't fucking matter. Kirk was like, I think Utah would have been a better team. He was looking for me.
Yeah, he was. He was.
Yeah, looking for
I'll
me.
speak when it's my turn.
Yeah.
Didn't matter whether it was Utah or Dallas. They were also gonna get a peek at.
Yeah.
Having said that,
Yeah.
right? Having said that, the reality is that if you're gonna lose 2 games, losing the away games, really, right now, is it likely that they make a big series of this? Shit, I hope so, but probably not.
Yeah.
Right? If they get 2 games in the series, it will be a good experience for them. And as an ownership, they need to know, because a couple of years ago, Mark Cuban was like, no, we like our talent. I think this is one of those series where the owner's going to go, well, actually, this particular talent in the way it's constructed isn't going to get it done. Right? And as a Mavs fan, you go, okay, cool. He sits next to the team, right? Every game,
Yeah.
right? He sees them get pumped, right? That is an owner who isn't afraid to spend money, right? And who will try and do as much as he can to do stuff when they get pumped. Actually, I trust that he will do something about it. Yeah. So the worst thing for a fan of a club to see is the owner's content with the fact that, oh man, we came close. Because maybe we just run it back.
Yeah.
It is obvious that they can't run this back, which actually is cool. Yeah. The second game was better than the first. First 3 quarters were good, and then the closer. Okay. Yeah.
It was actually Booker that bowled 3 threes.
How clean was that, bruh? In game 2.
Yo.
Just can't.
The whole playoffs.
Yeah.
He's been sensational. And then you got the wrong top.
KD, your thoughts? Do we have a series? Will CP3 finish this in 4? Do you see Luka doing something great in Dallas?
Luka might get 1 game. He might get 1 game. Yeah, I mean, he could go off and get a 50-point triple-double.
Yes.
It's not impossible.
Yes.
But in fairness, they live or die by the other guys are shooting threes or not.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem is that in the previous series, their role players had an out-of-body experience. And I mean, Brunson played ridiculously well. I mean,
Yeah. Didn't one game he score 40 something?
Sorry, another point. I'm kind of glad that they didn't end in Utah with Brunson playing like that, because the temptation will then be to overpay him.
Yes.
Because he can't. As much as I like the dude, love the dude, but you're not gonna win anything if he's your number 2.
Nah.
And you can't pay him like that. And had they ended,
he's better than Dellavedova.
this is true, but I'm not sure that. I'm not sure Dellavedova was ever the
Or
number 2.
what's the
He was the number 1? What you mean?
what's another what is the
I almost actually threw that.
what is the other Dallas Hispanic guy with the short ends, the big head?
Yeah.
What? What just happened?
The Dallas PG that from back in the day that played with Dirk, with the short the
Oh, Berea.
But yeah.
AJ.
He's better than Berea.
He is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where you were going with it. Because Pereira wasn't the number 2 either.
Of course he was.
Yeah,
He wasn't the second best player on that team.
Oh, I thought.
No, I mean he was
I
the
thought maybe second point
best
guard.
player. That's what I thought.
Oh no, I'm talking about the
Second
second
best player.
Perea, Brunson is definitely not the second best player. He was in that series.
No, but that's my point. And so remember, they reaching a critical stage where he's I think an unrestricted free agent, right? So they would have to pay him like max money in order to keep him. And had they finished at the end of the Utah series, all of a sudden he looks like that guy.
Yes.
Yes.
But then you have a coming down to earth and when you play against someone who's
So,
likely to be in the finals.
that was my point about saying that Utah, A, they'd have been a better matchup with the Suns, and B, the Mavericks they needed to play extremely well to beat Utah. I mean, that game, the games got decided by 6 points a game. Like, there wasn't a big variance in points in those games. They were close. It was, I think there was one game that went double digits in victory, margin of victory. The rest were all 6 points, 8 points. So it was a tight series, and Dallas needed to play extremely well to win that series. Utah were just Utah, and they got beat, unfortunately, because Dallas played so well. I still believe that Utah would have been a better matchup for the Suns. They would have got beat, but it wouldn't have looked as inevitable as this is looking. That was my point.
Utah can't stop football, and their offense is actually the same as Dallas's, right? Except they just have 3 dudes doing it.
Again, the matchups they match up better with
They don't play any defense,
with Phoenix,
and they play one-on-one basketball just like Dallas, and they've got less shooters on the outside. So their big issue is that they've got no spacing, right? So they don't clear out anything, and the only way they score is they give it to Bogey, he plays 1-on-1. They give it to Clarkson, he plays 1-on-1. They give it to Mitchell, they play 1-on-1. Right? None of them.
How did they get
None of them can throw the ball to anybody else because nobody else is threes.
So before the beef between Mitchell and Gobert, they were the second best team in the West for a reason.
No, but they've had beef for years.
Yeah, but
right?
it manifested this year, and I believe that's what caused their downfall. Because there was talk that one of them needed to be traded midway through this year. And I believe that that's what caused the downfall this year. I mean, before that, they were a hot pick to come out of the West, actually.
But the two says they were the best team.
Yes,
They
they had the best record.
Yeah. That's
So,
wild, eh?
so like you're right in saying that was last year, but even this year they had the second best record. And
Fifth. They didn't even have home.
not at the end of the. I'm talking about through the season. At one point this season, they were ranked 2.
At the beginning.
Midway through the season, they were ranked 2.
but the point is-
Only after the playoffs and only after all that trades, things started shifting in
Backwards.
the West. Yeah.
Going backwards.
Yeah.
But that's it, right? So
But I
the
mean-
last half of the season they were going backwards and playing no defense. I don't understand how that's gonna be a better matchup against the Suns. They were beaten in 6 without Dallas playing with their best player for
But again, it was close.
2 games.
It was close, and,
Yeah.
and Dallas played out of the skins.
Yeah, but
They
my point
they played not like Dallas.
But they played without their best 2 players. Like I don't understand how that they couldn't beat a
Well,
team
they played them
without their best 2 players.
for 2 games or 3 games. Luka came back for the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what put him over the edge.
And then 1 in 6. Like that's
Your point is they should have put them away. Utah should have put Dallas away.
absolutely.
They
Right?
Without
And
Luka.
my point is if they couldn't do that, right, there wouldn't be a better matchup
No, but
against the Suns
The
team.
playoffs are all about matchups. You know this.
Yeah.
Why do you say that the Grizzlies are a bad matchup for Golden State Warriors and the Suns are not? Because they play because of the style,
super physical,
because
the
the
style,
style
exactly.
of play, and
But
because of the
that was my
personnel.
whole point, right? So the offense that
Oh, okay.
You could have just opened
So-
the door.
the offense
but
the
you
offense
can't just dispel that when it suits you because you want to make a point about your team playing well.
No, Mao.
No.
Oh.
You guys can eat.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna bring it here.
Okay, we still gonna be
Eat this, right?
Yeah, eat it.
My whole opening point is that they don't play any defense, right? And their offense is exactly the same as Dallas's. They don't swing the ball. That's a cup matchup. Who is going to guard anybody in the Suns, right? And the Suns scheme around playing one-on-one ball. Like, I don't understand why you're saying that's a good matchup. Because they've got a tall guy to match up with a tall guy. That's not a matchup. Their style of ball would crumble against the Suns. My whole point.
Utah.
Yes, my whole point is that I'm not going away from it. It's making my point.
Yeah. I still believe that it wouldn't feel as inevitable as this. For me, Utah believe that they could make it further into the playoffs than Dallas do. And Dallas are happy to lose to the Suns. Because they made it out of the first round, it's fine. I think that Utah would have put up a better fight than Dallas are putting up a better
So I think that's more of a desperation argument, right? Because Utah's gone further before, right? They're on this team. If they didn't succeed now, they were going to be destroyed. Whereas the trajectory of the Dallas team was, right? You're young, you haven't made it through there. You've got a superstar in the making, right? That's a trajectory and timing component to it.
Yes.
Being desperate doesn't mean that you're going to be better. It just means you're fucking desperate.
Does it mean that you might win 2 more games than Dallas? Maybe. Would that make it a better series? Maybe.
But they couldn't even do that to Dallas.
But
They weren't good
you
enough.
keep going back to that, and Dallas played a randomly good series to get out of the first round. If the role players played their normal game, that series, as close as it was, it would have been even closer. 6 points, 6 points, 6 points. Brunson went crazy for 24 points, 40 points, and fucking he's never going to do that again. And that's why he's going to get sold.
Is it?
Yeah, because
Who do you want? Who does Luka need?
Jesus.
so if you
Okay, I know it's open-ended, but let's not say a specific player. Maybe I should say a specific player. Maybe I should say, is there a specific player?
They need size. They need size.
So look, is there one? You the GM, you can find one bra who can bring this Dallas team a championship. Brunson out because you don't want him. Who in to give you a chance?
So I think you use Brunson to get more dynamic size,
Yeah.
right? Because you have Dinwiddie, right? And you have Timmy Hardaway that's gonna come back. Yeah.
And I mean, Power's serviceable. He's
a rim runner. You can shoot a bit cheek.
and
the same way you can run a bit cheek, you can shoot a bit
can
cheek, yeah.
defend. I mean, they are serviceable, but you need like a Embiid.
Yeah. And so say all of us. And so say.
That'll do.
Oh, you're joking.
Yeah. But
But right in.
They'll fit into the
Do
system.
you know you need to look for the next Jared Allen?
Yes.
Yes.
Or
I like
this one.
Oh, that's right. But because he's already made it, right? You can't get him.
Yeah.
Why not?
Right? Because
You need to give up too much.
Because
You put it at a price.
what clown is selling him for Brunson?
Brunson and money.
Yeah. Do you know who might have a center too many? Right? And who maybe your next Jared Allen type one is actually the Grizz.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
They do.
So long as I don't get Adams. Don't get Adams. Not Adams.
How well is what's in the play for the Grizz, man? Shot blocker. Help me out here. Grizzlies, light skin, dreadlocks with a ponytail. Clark.
Yeah, Brandon Clark.
Yes. How efficient is that, probably?
It's fine.
That's
Could that be a guy?
Yeah. But I got Brunson for Clark. I don't know actually.
So
Brunson for Clark and then something else.
actually,
Okay.
in closing,
Yeah.
Timmy's comments on the pick for who came out of the Utah Dallas series is actually a nice way to sum this up. Doesn't fucking matter.
Basically.
It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
At the moment, the Suns look like Thanos.
Yes,
He's
they do.
inevitable.
They do. Final score: Dallas Suns
4-1.
4-0.
Yeah, I must make notes of this. I'm
about the broom life, pal. I'm a witch. Okay. In closing, what can we expect from Game 3 specifically tonight from Miami, Philadelphia? Game 3 is tonight, right? What do we expect? Like 2-0 up?
What time's it, game?
I don't know, pal.
1:30.
Probably.
Don't wake up.
Do you see Miami Club in there? Well, you did call 4-1. You did.
Don't wake up.
Okay. To me, Miami Philadelphia, Snort Club.
It's not club.
Alright.
Okay.
Phoenix Mavericks, to me. They play tonight, game 3. What can we expect?
In Dallas.
In Dallas.
Yes.
This is the game. Oh, sorry.
Okay.
This is the game that Dallas has to win.
Correct. I agree. To me?
Has to win 4-1. If they win this game, then
it's 4-1.
Then it's
If they don't win this game, it's
4-0.
Yeah.
if they don't win this game, it's 4-1. If they do win this game, they might actually get a second.
You reckon?
Yeah, because teams. I think it's hard for a team to win 3, right, without switching off a little bit. I think it's hard.
That's Boston. And this is
Or any other team that
speed.
the dog is on the other side.
For reference, if you don't know, Boston swept the Nets. Can you believe it, those? 4-0.
Nee, bro.
4-0. I could never. You can't tell me there's someone that would have predicted 4-0. No ways. I'd love to know.
All the old Boston fans that are now
Maybe, yeah.
stretching out all
Correct.
Larry Bird talks are saying, I knew that.
Yeah.
Lies.
Lies. Phoenix Mavericks. You reckon the Mavericks win or lose tonight? At home? This is gonna be on record now. On record. How to do?
The Mavs are winning tonight.
Hey! Okay.
One.
Okay. Make your 6-pack on it.
Oh, wait. You taking that bet?
You taking it?
I'll leave this back.
We're recording it next week.
Yeah. Dallas getting a club tonight.
No. I believe Dallas will win tonight.
Wow, am I the only
Give
guy?
him a 6-pack.
I'll do a 6-pack.
Just.
Okay.
Like I said, they have to win. If
yeah.
they don't win tonight, it's 4-0.
Yeah. Dallas wins. Miami. Phoenix win. Grizzlies, Golden State, game 1 at home for Golden State. Who wins it? Grizz. They win away game. Okay. I think.
I must say I said the Grizzlies in 7, right?
Yeah.
So they have to win.
If
I
they
say-
don't win this one, I think they're in real fucking trouble.
I think Golden State win this one. That
Clay-
Golden State fan base is a real thing.
Clay didn't have a great game.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna.
Last one is Milwaukee Boston. First game back in Milwaukee. Do you really want to call Boston winning this one?
Again, Milwaukee has to win.
Yeah.
I'm
Milwaukee.
gonna go with Milwaukee. Mainly because I want them to win. Rather than I believe it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm gonna enjoy watching that.
Is Boston winning the series an upset? Even
Of
though they are
100
ranked higher.
100% is upset.
Yeah, but they're ranked higher though.
The same reason why Dallas beating Utah was an upset.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Gonna drop the mic. It's time to eat ribs. Cheers. Just the deal.
Allow me to report.
That's right.